Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Please once again take a moment to pray for me and pray to the God of Peter Dislikes by singing the jingle, waving your finger, and leaving a dislike on this video. Let's do it again. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So I had a very rotten week this week. First, we had Monday off because it was Veterans Day, and it doesn't feel like when we get days off at work nowadays at my job, it doesn't feel like a day off to me. It feels more like a furlough, like a temporary layoff, because work is my life. It feels like a gap in my life when we get off work. Thanksgiving is going to be really challenging for me, especially if I don't make some connections between now and Thanksgiving, which is why I really, really need the prayers. Um, but I feel very let down every time we have a day off. It's like it reminds me of how cruel the outside world is, right? And what's really frustrating is that if I survive Thanksgiving, I survive Christmas. Then I got to think about, well, spring break is just around the corner, right? I teach at a community college. It's very disheartening, and it's not even something I can easily try to negotiate, right? If you didn't have enough time off of work, you might negotiate and people would understand it, right? We have too much time off. Imagine trying to go to your boss and say that. He's going to think you're insane, right? I did try to look for other work during that time. I tried to apply for work at a tutoring center. I made the mistake of letting them know what I'm doing during the spring, and he probably figured out that I only wanted to work during the holidays, right? He probably figured that out, and that probably doesn't go very well with their business plan, right? I'm not a very good liar, especially when it comes to work and career, right? I might lie in order to impress a girl or something like that. I sometimes lie about at my art shows. I might lie about what I've sold other things for, right? That I might be okay with, right? I might lie about some art ambitions that I have. That maybe it might not be a lie. It might be more like a boast, right? I hope to one day work with Moscovio, right? I hope to figure out some PPE so I can work with Thallium, right? Even though I'm light years away from thinking about doing that, I might boast a little bit, right? But I find it difficult to do that with my day job. I really do. Because I'm so proud of it. That's the thing, right? I mean, it's not like when I applied for the Kumon, the tutoring center. It's not like I went in there. Oh, I only want to work on the holidays. No, I didn't say that. But I didn't hide. I didn't do a very good job at hiding it either. Let's put it that way. But things are really coming to a head this week because we're getting close to Thanksgiving. I had hoped to travel a little bit, either to Wallace, Idaho, or even just even just a little bit more locally, right? Nogales or where else did I think about? Somewhere a little bit cooler, obviously, right? Uh, I uh, I thought about traveling to or I still have connections over in Seattle, Washington, but then I realized that most of the people that I know are probably going to be away anyhow. Uh, so Wallace is probably my best bet because the people I knew there were mostly worked in the tourism industry. They wouldn't go away during the Thanksgiving break, right? But then I realized that I really need to be making connections here in Phoenix. I really don't need to be taking a vacation away from Phoenix, right? I just wish I had work to do as well, right? Today when I go to the community college, I'll probably snoop around to see if there's uh, other work that needs to be done, temporary positions especially. Uh, Maybe not at the college. The only thing I can think of that would be temporary for the holidays would be some kind of retail, but I have no experience with that, right? But at the same time, connections is good, and if I fuck up at that job, it's probably not going to be the end of the world because that's not my career path anyway, right? So that's what I'm thinking of as of late. Maybe look for work at some kind of retail or some kind of restaurant industry, right? And this time, try to hide the fact that I only want to work during the holidays, and I have no plans of advancing. Right? Pray that I do a good job at hiding that, right? Because I think that's what killed me at my last interview. I might give another tutoring center another try. That would be ideal. That would be ideal. Yes, I have run into toxicity working at some of these franchised tutoring center, but you know what? Toxicity beats being home and being toxic, right? And yeah, it really does nowadays. I know it sounds funny, but okay. But we had Veterans Day off, and that was already toxic enough. And then these last couple of days, I've been so unwell that my stomach's been churning out of control. Yesterday, I came up with this idea of putting a bismuth crystal under my tongue to get some, because you know how silver can be absorbed under your tongue. I thought bismuth could as well, and I was having stomach difficulties. And so I don't know if that worked or not. But it did a really good job at polishing up the bismuth crystal that I put under my tongue. Let me see. Which one was it? It was this guy right here. So I took a small dose of sublingual bismuth to kind of calm my stomach a little bit. A few years ago, I recorded a video where I ate a piece of bismuth, and I got if I remember correctly, thousands of views and hundreds of dislikes on that. I need to do that again. Um, but yesterday, I was so upset that my I wasn't feeling well. I was feeling stomach aches and all that. I had gone to a gas station, and as I pulled out of the car, it hit me how strongly the gasoline smelled. It was like because I was sick. I don't know why. People talk about losing their sense of smell during COVID. I find that this past week, everything has smelled thousands of times stronger. I can't even eat anymore. I had read an article about how eating celery can make your body smell more attractive. So I've been trying to eat celery, but yesterday I got some, and it smelled like thousands of times stronger than it should, and I hardly could swallow it. I'd gone to a gas station, and the gasoline almost made me ill. And as if that wasn't bad enough, this homeless guy decides to dig through the trash can at the pump. I mean, what's he expect to find in there? This is a gas station. It's outside, right? People throw like towels that they use for their windshield into the into the trash can. And I asked him at first very nicely, could you please wait until I'm done? I'll be done in 2 minutes. I'm feeling sick. I don't know if I have COVID. I said COVID to kind of make him want to go away because I didn't want to tell him that. I don't think he would have understood if I said that I was dealing with emotional heartache and all that. So I just said, I'm feeling very ill. I don't know if I have COVID, and I don't need to be looking at the stuff in the trash. I'm feeling very unwell, and it's making me nauseated. Could you please just wait until I'm done? I wish you luck in finding treasure. And I kind of said that to hope that he would go away. And he said, I'll make it quick. I'll make it quick. And so I turned around to avoid looking at him. And as soon as I did that, I felt really sick, like acid running up and down my stomach. And I couldn't hold it anymore. And I ran toward the trash can. I pushed it away. I went, "Excuse me!" And I threw up into the trash can. I didn't do it out of spite. I, but he was very upset. He shouted some obscenities, and I quickly ran to grab the gas pump, put it back in, and drove away 100 miles an hour, just to avoid there turning into a violent situation. I don't think it would have, but you know what? I was embarrassed. I gotta give this guy some credit. It could have turned out a lot worse than it did. You know, you're starving. You're looking through the trash to find anything to eat. This guy's telling you he has COVID, and then he vomits at you. I can only imagine how much worse. I gotta give him some credit. I gotta give him some credit. I come home and I start having nightmares. Fortunately, I can't remember what the nightmares I had last night were about, but I knew I had a couple of them. I had one nightmare, went back to sleep, had one more, and then fortunately, I can't remember what they were about. I'd love to tell you guys, but also fortunately, I know somebody at our local church, and he runs a couple of meetups, and he promised to see who he can hook me up with. And then there's a coworker of mine who has invited me to a Christmas party, and I really need to figure some things out before I do that. I'm going to go donate my hair while we're at it because I need to get my hair cut and I need some good vibes. So, and I'm going to. I need to read up more about that study about eating the celery and body smelling attractive and all that. Maybe there's a better way. I don't know if it's a good idea anyhow because now that I think about it, I don't want somebody who's just attracted to my smell and right. I mean, it's a good short-term solution if somebody will talk to me and make me feel good. You know what? I might do it because it's a feel-good solution, right? It might not make for a long-term relationship, but a feel-good is what I need right now, just enough to make me feel comfortable about booking that trip to Wallace, Idaho, to make me not barf up my food every meal, right? And make me on track to working with the art projects. Maybe one of these days, I'll. I don't have good space at the moment. What I need is uh, like a chemistry lab with fume hoods and all that, and then I can work with thallium. Right. I plan to make. I just ordered a graphite mold of a disc-like finger, custom mold, and I plan to pour it out of every dislikable metal on the periodic table, every metal that's kind of undervalued, right? So obviously, bismuth, indium, thallium, uh, mercury amalgam of some sort, right? Gallium's a good one, but it needs to be amalgamated with something to make it a little bit harder, right? And uh, uh, Neptunium 237 would be a good one. It's relatively inexpensive for what it is, right? Uh, let's see. See that's how I've been. I can't even remember things that are near and dear to me. Tellurium, and selenium maybe, and uh, antimony, uh, maybe arsenic. I don't know if you can cast arsenic very easily. So I need to get some kind of good setup so I can safely do some of these things, right? This is the Peter. Please pray for me by leaving a dislike. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.